Evacuation plans. State lawmakers are working on a measure that requires every school in Iowa to come up with an emergency plan in the event of an active shooter. Why they aren't sharing any of the details.
Reconnected, Iowa's signature event had plenty to celebrate on the very first day of competition. We'll tell you why wrestling fans were cheering both inside and outside the arena.
And inspiring students. A woman who made history in Iowa by winning an election is sharing her experience with high school students here in the Metro. It's Friday, February 16th. Today in Iowa starts now.
From WHO HD, the local news leader. This is Channel 13 News, Today in Iowa.
It's at 5 a.m. on this Friday morning, and happy to be sitting here on a Friday talking about the weekend. However, today's weather is, I don't know, it's a little different. It's been a while since we've had cold temperatures like this.
It got cold again.
Yeah.
What happened? Pulled the rug out from under us. Yeah, it's like winter is still going on or something, Jerry Ann.
I know, wasn't it nasty overnight here in those winds? Right now the winds are gusting 20 to 30 miles per hour, and the winds out of the northwest, and it will take your breath away. 13 right now in Des Moines, 5 in Algona, but this is what it feels like. It feels well below zero. It feels like 10 to even 15 below. This morning, it feels well below zero across the majority of the state. We do have a clearing in the skies. We are going to see lots of sunshine today, and the winds will gradually die down, but it is not expected to get above the freezing point. At 9 a.m., 15, at noon, 24, and by 3 o'clock, 30 degrees. So sunny with a high of 30. Now, this cold snap and winter weather return is not going to last long. It is still looking warm this weekend. I'll show you when it will be the warmest coming up.
All right, Jerry Ann, thanks. First on 13, a bill requiring all Iowa schools to have an evacuation plan in place is being sent to a full Senate vote.
But first, the committee approved a measure to not share those plans with parents and guardians. The evacuation and safety plan is to protect students and staff in the event of an active shooter or natural disaster. The Iowa Department of Education says right now plans are not required and not all school districts have one. Lawmakers say the plans would not be shared with the public.
A sophisticated person that's trying to create terror or to kill or whatever, if they know what the plan is, it's going to give them an advantage.
If the bill is passed, all districts in the state must have a plan in place by June 30th of next year.
New details are emerging about Wednesday's shooting at a Florida high school that left 14 students and 3 adults dead. The alleged gunman, 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz, made his first court appearance yesterday. Cruz is being held on 17 counts of premeditated murder. The judge denied bond. Police say he admitted to the shooting shortly after he was taken into custody. Investigators say Cruz legally purchased the gun used in the attack. The Parkland community gathered last night for a candlelight vigil where they honored the victims. Organizers released 17 balloons, one for each victim. And these are the faces of some of the 17 people who died. They include a football coach, a future college swimmer, and a National Merit Scholarship finalist. Another 15 victims were rushed to the hospital. There, 9 remain hospitalized, with 1 still in critical condition.
Less than 24 hours after the Florida tragedy, a bomb threat led to the evacuation of an Iowa high school. It happened at Anamosa High School yesterday morning. Students were moved to different locations. Bomb-sniffing dogs swept the building, and police determined it was a false alarm.
After yesterday, I think that's definitely a heightened alert. There's other school districts that do handle threats like this differently. We will be looking at those. We were just informed of that a short time ago, but primarily it's been to evacuate the building, and I know in past at other schools that has been a problem.
Police gave the all clear and students were allowed back in. Authorities are working to identify who made the threat.
The state is warning of a new scam. It targets Iowans by misrepresenting the staff of the Iowa Department of Public Safety. Officials say they have received reports from citizens about scam calls. We're told the callers claim they were investigating a lawsuit and were special agents with the DCI. If you receive a similar call, you're asked to contact your local law enforcement and the Iowa Attorney General's office hotline.
Students at Urbandale High School learned about Black History Month from a living legend. Lametta Wynn was the first African-American woman to be elected mayor in Iowa. She was elected to lead the town of Clinton in 1995, and she held that office for 12 years. Wynn says she was inspired to run for office after witnessing other council members showing disrespect to each other and to citizens at some of the meetings. Wynn says one of her proudest moments was when a young girl spotted her and recognized her while she was grocery shopping.
There was this lady with her little daughter who said, "Mama, she's the mayor." And I thought, that was nice because she didn't say, "You see that lady, she's black," or "she's this," or "she's that." She just said, "She's our mayor." And I thought, I think we're getting there.
Wynn was one of the first members of the Vision Iowa board and then served as president of the African American Historical Museum and Cultural Center in Cedar Rapids. Today, she is a retired nurse still living in Clinton.
It's 5:06 and it's that time of the year again where school teachers and parents meet for conferences. One metro district will change it up a bit this year, inviting students in on the conversation. Channel 13's Christina Salonikas is here with how teachers at Valerius Elementary School in Urbandale are keeping track of a student's progress throughout the year. Good morning, Christina.
Good morning, Andy. Every week at Valerius Elementary School, fourth grade students go through and check off different categories to see how they're doing in the classroom. Now, the students will study their progress in what is called a data binder. The binder shows where students strive and struggle in different subjects. He or she will make a chart, and when it comes time for parent conferences, the student knows where they are at. Now, at the conferences, students are invited to come with their parents and listen to what the teacher has to say.
When students are leading their conferences and going through those data binders, it's much more meaningful, and the parents see how engaged their child is in their learning in the classroom and how excited they are about reaching their goals. So I think it makes a huge difference when it's student-centered and students are there to share that information with their parents.
Conferences are not mandatory for parents to attend, but Megan believes when the student is involved, it is easier for the student to improve on subjects he or she may be struggling with. Andy, do you do this with your children at conferences?
Well, my kid does go to Valerius, as a matter of fact, and from what I'm hearing from you, I'm not going to be able to talk about her behind her back anymore at the conferences?
I mean, not necessarily. Your child doesn't have to go to the conferences. She could stay home if you'd like instead. It's just opening it up to have, the students there to say why they're struggling with something or they're striving in something.
They can argue their case, right?
Exactly.
In other words. Okay, thank you, Christina.
Well, it's been called one of the best new traditions in sports, and the Hawkeye Wave has found a way to continue in the off-season. The grounds crew at Kinnick Stadium did not want to wait for the next football season to keep that tradition going, so they went to work. Earlier this week, they got the snowblower and shovels out and drew a giant hand in the snow on the Hawkeye football field. The hashtags are Snow Wave and FTK, which stands for the kids. The grounds crew says this is for the kids, and if you're wondering how long it took, just 2 hours. And it was worth it. It is already working. Check out this smile. Nolan Strive tweeted this photo of his 6-year-old daughter, Harper. And Harper actually attends kindergarten at Westwood Elementary in Ankeny when she's not having treatment in Iowa City. That's a great picture.
Love that. I can't believe how good a hand that is. Look at that.
I know.
I can't draw a hand that well with my own hand, much less with a snowblower.
Right.
What do they have,
It's
like a
not
laser
like they had a
sketch?
giant. I don't know. Did they?
Yeah, they didn't have a
go
giant to put his hand down on the field and then trace it, right?
No, I don't think so. Nice work,
Yeah,
grounds crew.
keep it going in the off season, right? I mean, because the kids are still there in the off season.
That's right.
Even though the football games aren't going on, but it is amazing. That is one of the great traditions, really, in sports to emerge in the last year, and it's just another reason to look forward to the next football season.
And I think everyone's behind it too, even Iowa State fans.
Yeah, that's right. Even the rivals.
All right, Jerry Ann's here with a look at our forecast, and the winds of change today are kind of settling in, but road conditions still look great, right?
Yeah, this is normal winter driving conditions across the state. Obviously cold enough for some refreeze overnight. We did warm up into the 40s yesterday afternoon. We are now colder as a strong cold front moved through. A little snow falling over parts of Missouri. And this is a wake-up call for those folks. I don't know if you heard yesterday, but they get to 80 degrees in St. Louis. So now they're experiencing a return of winter weather. We do have dry conditions to the north and west, and we will be seeing plenty of sunshine throughout the day today. But it's going to be misleading. It looks like a cold one. We have a very wet weather pattern to the south, and it's sitting over some very saturated soil across southern Illinois now, parts of Indiana, just sitting across Nashville, parts of Tennessee, and another round of heavy rainfall will be in the same area this weekend. So it looks like areas to the south and east will continue to see more rainfall, especially where it's continuing to just pretty much just sit and accumulate. We do have a little snow across the north and west, and it will be sitting over the Rockies. That system will be brushing northern Iowa by early tomorrow, and then we'll get that out of here. We'll see a wind shift. We'll feel a wind shift, and then we'll heat up, and you'll feel it Saturday and Sunday afternoon. But today it's still cold. 23 degrees in Minneapolis, 32 around Omaha, 40 around St. Louis. Stay with us. I'll have more on this warmer weekend coming up.
All right, Jerry Ann, thanks. Well, Fort Dodge won the 3A team duel Wednesday night, and the Dodgers are not done. Keith Murphy? Yes, Keith Murphy. He has more.
Fort Dodge is sending 9 wrestlers to the quarterfinals. Brody Teske started his quest for a 4-state title, and he was only on the mat for 34 seconds. Teske with the pin. Drew Bennett didn't need the full time either. Bennett wins by tech fall. And Damon Lochter pins his way to the next round.
Obviously, important part in it. They're the ones who get you to where you want to be. So, I'm obviously want to be at top this year, top of the podium. So, I'm working hard, grinding hard, and I'm going to get there.
Valley is a contender for that team title too, and the Tigers have Joel Shapiro. He wins by tech fall. Valley sophomore Blake Underwood going to the wire, give him the 2 for a takedown and a 3-2 decision.
It was a fight. I knew it would be because went OT with him last time. Thankfully this time I didn't, but it was just a grinder.
Des Moines East is officially on the rise. The Scarlets go 3-0 in the opening round, while DeVille Dentist pins his way to his 100th career win.
Last year I came here as a sophomore. It was pretty nerve-wracking. I got a little scared, but now I'm the junior. I'm matured a little bit more, got used to it. Past some years, walked in here and I was excited. I was ready.
Centennial brought 8 to state, and its 182-pounder Cullen Hondred is sticking around for another day. Kobe Pritchard is wrestling his senior season at Southeast Polk. Pritchard wins 11-2 and will face Waukees' Kyle Biscaglia in the quarters.
Good morning, Murph. Welcome to Today in Iowa. Meanwhile, Albia's Aiden Reeves, looking for his second state title, comes into state at 46-0, and Aiden is advancing to the quarterfinals, making it 47-0. Centerville's Matt Lewis in the first match of the day at 106. Lewis wins a major decision there, 15-1. Staying in Class 2A with a close-up wrestling shoots. First round, Prairie City Monroe's Luke Rowland wins 18-3, tech fall, and Luke is feeling it. He's ready to wrestle again right now. Gonna have to wait for a little while longer. Ballard's Jarrett Miller, also sharp on day 1. Miller wins with a 9-3 decision. How about Class 1A? First round, 89 Iowa high schools represented in the small class. Don Bosco Gilbert leads Lisbon second, Denver third, and Manson, Northwest Webster, Martinsdale, St. Mary's, and I-35 all in the top 10. All right, from wrestling to tomorrow's Bacon Fest to the basketball tournaments and concerts to come, everything is a little easier for fans this year. After a 20-month hiatus, the Iowa Event Center is reconnected to the rest of downtown Des Moines via the Skywalk, meaning fans can once again reach hotels, restaurants, and parking ramps without stepping out into the cold and dodging traffic. The Skywalk was reconnected late last month to the delight of those in charge of selling Des Moines.
There's a lot of breaks during the wrestling tournament and a lot of the events up there. So yeah, they can get to Court Avenue, they can get to lots of the downtown restaurants.
The Skywalk was disconnected while the new Hilton Hotel at the event center was being built. The hotel is set to open next month. So next year, it'll be even better down there. But for now, man, they are happy to have the Skywalk reconnected because that's the reason you have a Skywalk, right? You have
right.
all these
With
big
a big event
events,
like this,
cold weather. Yeah.
Yes. And yesterday they probably wouldn't have minded, but today you got to have that indoor Skywalk.
Yeah, you're glad to have it again, no doubt.
It's cold and it's windy. It's kind of miserable out there, Jerry.
Yeah, it's hard to go from the 40s to below zero in the early morning hours, and the winds has a lot to do with it. The winds will be strong this morning out of the northwest, making it feel well below zero across the state. I'll show you the warmer weekend and the latest on the storm system on Monday when we come back.
Well, America is beginning to fall behind in the medal count.
But we had some of our best athletes going for gold yesterday. We'll head back to the Winter Olympics coming up.
From WHO HD, the local news leader. You're watching Channel 13 News, Today in Iowa.